Hey guys, how is everybody today? It's 75 degrees here in Austin. It is a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm outside in my outside office, which I really like. Probably be out here until it gets too hot, but it's been too cold to be out there all winter. Last winter, I was out here all winter long. We didn't have as cold of a winter as we did this winter. All right, so let's look at some stuff. Let's start with maybe the start the market. We'll start with volatility. Volatility's been jacked lately, and it's been going up even more, obviously, the past couple of days since the market started selling off. But let's pull back to a daily perspective. On a daily perspective, all I care about, or the main thing I look at, is the 200-day volatility. Is it over the 200 period moving average or under the 200 period moving average? And it's back over it again. And heck, it's been over it so much lately, it's made the 200 period moving average slope up. So it's definitely been a volatile time. And of course, this it started in late July of last year, and it has not subsided yet. So it'd be untrue to blame it on the election. In fact, it was the volatility right here that was pre-election. Then when the election happened, volatility actually sold off for a little bit, but then and is now right back here again. So it's interesting. We'll check this measure of volatility also. This is VIX of VIX. I look at this also. But anyway, they're both high. So discretion's a better part of valor. Be cautious. All that kind of stuff. Let's look at the SPY. SPY just has this area of overhead supply up here where every time the prices got up there, there's been sellers. Except for a couple of days it got over, but that turned out to be a bull trap. Turned out to be a big bull trap. They ran the price the other way. Okay, let's look at the Qs, and then we're going to look at the Altiverse and stuff. I'd like to see, I wouldn't want to see this, but I think that we're going to probably need a pullback to 510 on the Qs before this bounces. I just think the Qs has further to go. The Qs was up more in the last bull market. All right, well, let's look at Russell, IWM. Russell's been dealing with overhead supply also, so we'll see. We'll see. Right now, things aren't looking that encouraging. All right, so that could turn around fast, though. Maybe tomorrow will be turnaround Tuesday. We'll see. Okay, so here's all the verses. We're going to be well versed. Here is the Alti grid. Okay, so Alti was down 1.2. The average stock was down 3%. That's not bad. The good ones were Hims and Roku. The bad ones were Planeteer and Soxel. Now let's check some LFGY. So LFGY, here's the LFGY allocations, and I showed everyone this morning, but in case you weren't seeing it, there's very little cash and money market here. LFG appears to be fully invested. Computer's frozen. Come on, computer. I've got to get a new laptop. Oh gosh. This is the third one I've used since I had this job. This job is hard on laptops. I've had two MacBook Pros. No, I'm taking that back. I've had two Windows units and one MacBook Pro that I've worn out since I've been doing this. I'm pretty much on the laptop 12 hours a day. The MacBook Pro needs a new battery, but it's also just kind of older. I think I'm going to just get a newer one. All right, so let's now look at the LFGY verse. I know it says GPTY verse up there. That drives me crazy. This is definitely LFGY. LFGY had a problem today. They were one of the ones down the most, and it's because of this APLD. What in the heck is this APLD trying to do to us? Let's go look at the trade for that APLD and see what Jay's trying to do here. So they have shares, 321,000 shares, and it looks like they have about the same number of contracts, or wouldn't be the same number, it'd be divided by 100. Divide that number by 100, so they would have 3,200 contracts approximately. Looks like that's approximately what they do have. They have it laddered all over from here to hell and back, which is good. Sorry about this. This computer in this spreadsheet, if I haven't mentioned it, sucks. All right, so they've sold the 110s, the 130s, and the 140s. Or I guess those are 11s, 13s, and 14s on APLD. Is APLD really that cheap? It's cheaper today, I can tell you that much. Yeah, APLD is okay. Hey, have you guys been watching my series on beginner will strategies, wills for smaller accounts or for somebody that's never done the will before? I'm designing an e-guide right now, but I've made a spreadsheet and I shared it in my last video. Well, anyway, just real quick, I know this is off subject, but let's go over to that spreadsheet real quick. My first will. Under my first will, I have something called new ideas where we keep track of potential stocks that we might want to put in the will. What's the matter with APLD? It's the right price. It's the right volatility. Anything that's my will strategy is basically just trying to recreate what Alti's doing and kind of it's basically a very similar type thing to what Alti's doing with some changes. But anyway, we need to consider APLD. So here's the ones we're considering right now. AAOI, LNUR, we went ahead and sold a put on that today. So I need to take that off the considering list, I guess. But SoundHound, NU, which is also, I think that's in Alti. And of course, I said APLD was in Alti, but it's actually, I meant in LFGY. Okay, well, anyway, we'll put APLD on the list. That might be a good potential will candidate, especially with the pulling back right here. Maybe sell a put and, maybe sell a put and get long and then start selling some calls or something. Anyway, all right. I just noticed that. I thought that's good. If you guys have any other potential, it has to be volatile and it has to have really liquid options. Something like, it has to be 30, 20, 30, 40, something like SoFi is a great example of a smaller will stock, or Mara, or, there's lots of them. But anyway, we'll add it to the list, but I'm trying to find some smaller growthy type stocks to put on there. All right. Well, that's it for the wills. So let's go back over here. So now let's go to the actual GPTY verse. So in the GPTY verse, it looks like they added Apple. Yeah. I showed here's the allocation on Friday. They had AMD, Amazon, and Arista Networks and Broadcom. But today they have Apple, AI, AMD, Amazon, Arista Networks, and Avgo. So it looks like they added AI and Apple. Well, that's interesting. Last week, Amazon was 11%, and now they've made AI 11%. It looks to me like they've swapped Amazon out for AI. So their two big positions are NVIDIA and AI. Okay, well, anyway, here's all the allocations. Now, they do have a little cash on hand. They have 3% cash, but almost no, or basically no money market, 5 basis points. So let's see how it went today. That's the allocations. All right, here it is, GPTY verse. Not great. GPTY is down 2.5%. The average stock was also down 2.5%. All right, well, that's not great, is it? Let's look at the index buffer report, feet 5E, getting killed. Oh, look at all these NASDAQ based. Look at LFGY, man. LFGY, it's that APLD's doing it. AIPI. GPTY getting murdered, SEPI getting killed, FEPI, SEPI. These are all similar funds. GPTY, FEPI, SEPI, LFGY, and AIPY. These are all very similar funds, and you can see by the results. Okay, well, anyway, let's stop dwelling on that. Let's go over here. It's been a bad day. Gosh darn it, look at that. I mean, about the only good thing you could say is these all have a little bit of buffer. They aren't catching as much as the parent. Anywhere between 60 to 90%, it looks like. The average being about 75%. Pretty much how option selling works. You sell the option, even if the stock goes down, you get hurt, but it gives you the sold option premium, gives you a little buffer. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put these trades in here today. Maybe we should just do it right now. We could just do this, and then we could do anyway. I hope you guys let me know if there's anything I could do to make the Will series more interesting, or I'm trying to help some people. That a lot of the people in my Discord and that I communicate with every day are experts in the Will. They know everything about it. So, but I'm trying to go back and get some kind of broaden the audience a little bit and get some beginners on board. So I made a beginner Will spreadsheet where we can track our trades, or I had AI make it. And I'm working on a checklist and a basic key guide, just like other normal influencers have. I'm trying to become a normal influencer. Anyway, the e-guide should hopefully be done tonight. The spreadsheet's ready right now. Go watch my video from today, or go watch the first one from the other day. I think that's going to be a fun series and going to be very interesting. But my earnings series is for more advanced traders, and because I'm hedging stuff and we're doing multi-leg spreads. And I did not have a episode of that today, but we're going to touch base on that. First, let's get these trades. I worked all weekend on that darn spreadsheet, and it's still bad. If there were anyone, but I had AI do it, give me the formulas and stuff. But if anyone wants to volunteer to make it, to format it, make it prettier, my mind just does not work in that manner. I think of percentages and ratios and stuff, and I just don't work in the pretty world, and in the organized world. I'm just always thinking if someone wants to download, I'll give it to you guys, to anyone, if somebody wants to take a shot at reformatting it and making it look like a normal influencer spreadsheet. It works, but it's just ugly. All right, so let's download this. These are the intraday trades, and we're gonna go replace. Okay, let's see what they did today. Okay, so they sold 14 contracts for $8. Then they came back and they bought that back for $3.75. So they made the difference between $8 and $3.75. So that's $4.25. It probably took a couple of hours to make that much or something, who knows. But then they went and they sold an option. They rolled up 605. Oh yeah, they sold the 605 for $8. They covered, after some time passed, they covered it for $4. Just call it $4, okay? Then they sold another option for $1.50, and after they covered the 605 for $4 or $3.75, whatever you want to call it, they sold the other strike. I mean the next option. They rolled out to the 606.50. As the market probably was bouncing, or maybe as the market pulled back, they covered. And anyway, great trading. Great trading. In the NDX version, they sold one contract. These 72, these are small contracts. That takes 100 of those to equal one of this. So they actually sold about 1 3/4 of a big contract, but these small contracts are actually 100th of the size also. So the math's different and stuff. But these guys sold one contract at the 21.1750 level for $41. They bought that option back for $17, about the same ratio as the other one. It looks like basically the same trade. And then they wrote a new option. They rolled out further. They rolled to the 2181 and wrote an option for $7. And it looks like that one expired worthless. Great job, guys. Great job. Okay, so let's look at real quick. I didn't have a show on it today, but I have 3 trades on for the earnings trades. I have a bullish earnings trade in NVIDIA. It has earnings Wednesday or something. I can't find it right now. I can never find it. It's here, but I never see it. Where is it? Why? I don't understand why I can't see it. Every time I don't see it. There it is, right there. $385 loser. Well, that sucks. But I have but I'm up $279 on my hedge. So I'm still down about $100 between those two. So I have this hedge trade and the long NVIDIA trade. And then in addition to that, I have a bearish diagonal in Home Depot. And it's kind of a small one. Bearish diagonal Home Depot. It's down $19 right now. And we're targeting the expected move on the downside, which is the market maker expected move, which is about 360. If we can get it, we'll potentially make $700-800 on a couple $100 worth of risk. If it blows past it, we have a consolation prize of 270. But if it doesn't move down at all, it appears like we break even. And if Home Depot moves up, we're going to lose $218, depending on how far it moves up. All right, so those are 3 earnings trade: a long one, a short one, and for now, and I might add some as it goes on. So let's see what we have coming up as far as earnings this week. Okay, yeah, Home Depot's before the open tomorrow. Okay, so then after the close, depending if the market has, we'll probably maybe I'll look at an Intuit or Lucid first, something after the close tomorrow. If you guys have any inclinations on which way those things might be going, let me know, because it's no different to me to do a 3-legged risk reversal bearishly to bullishly. I don't care. I'll put it on in whichever way, but I usually just choose bullish, especially when the market's bullish. But since the market started pulling back this week and is kind of, in a precarious spot, I wouldn't be opposed to maybe mixing in a bearish earnings trade. And that's kind of why I did that Home Depot bearishly. So that, and somebody else in Discord also thought they might miss, and Walmart missed, and it's retail. We'll see. It's only a couple $100. If they miss it, it should be a nice payoff if we can pin that expected move at 380, pin the strike. Or I'm sorry, the strike was 360 that I'm attempting to pin. But anyway, so then after the close tomorrow, during the day, I might look at, maybe Kava, Lucid, something like that. Then tomorrow or Wednesday, we have NVIDIA. Snowflake might be a good one. AI has earnings. Mara. Mara's not a bad one. I mentioned Mara is a decent wheel candidate, if for no other reason, but because it has high volatility and because it's relatively inexpensive. And they have earnings coming up. I should probably put Mara on the list of potential wheel stocks. And then later on in the week, we have nothing really interests me there. Dell does. Good old Austin company, a company out of Austin, or I think it's actually out of Round Rock, but Rocket Lab, SoundHound. Those might be some decent wheel candidates. Anyway, so we'll stay on top of it. If you want to learn about the wheel, keep following that series. Download that spreadsheet, and if you want to, you can help me redesign it and make it look prettier. But if not, that's fine. Also, it works. It works. So it's just kind of a work in progress. I just want to make it look a little better. So if anyone has any ideas, that's great. And then as far as the earnings trades go, let's see how we do. The week started off to good because I bought puts Friday before the market started dropping. Those puts are up $228 right now. It's saving me. If I didn't have those puts, I'd be down $380 just on the NVIDIA. but because the market sold off, and that's part of the reason Nvidia is down, I was able to monetize some of that too. So I probably should have taken those puts off today before the market closes and rolled them down and realized some of that money to lock in some of that gain. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I'm in a good spot because if the market recovers from here, if this is the low, kind of today's the low, and then the market kind of recovers from here, my Nvidia will probably be fine. So, that's fine. But if the market keeps selling off, that $200 trade will probably turn into a $400 or $500 trade. I can take it off at that time and maybe even be ahead after the Nvidia trade. So it's all about, we just gotta see what happens, see what's going to happen. Or we don't know what's going to happen, but we got to let it happen and then try to adjust to it in the best way we know how. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for being here, and I hope you have a great day. See you.